Hello and welcome. It is the 24th day of April 2019. Welcome to the Money Charts channel. Let's go over the crypto game. All bets, trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. For myself, risk reward management is always job number one. And we're in a situation with Bitcoin dominance in play huge. A lot of the coins on the alt side going down together collectively. And the Bitcoin price is most certainly holding on to a bullish setup. It told me, and really around the after the first week of April, okay, this thing's going to 6,400 area. It hasn't done that yet. It's been well over 2 weeks, getting closer to three since that time. It hasn't done it, but it hasn't done anything to say no to it. It's just taking its sweet little time and doing so. Many of these days, having resistance on the highs on the 18, and then 2 day breakout, which noticeable breakout, but that's about all it was. So a small breakout, enough where if it has a pullback like we are seeing, it can do so at this previous resistance level and it can do so within the 18. And that's what we're seeing so far, down 2.25% for the session. And amongst the single hour term time frame, this is where it first established this resistance. Slow grind higher, a little bit of a correction. And then the opportunity for the market to have that great move higher was right in there. But even if it didn't do it there or at that time, important to hold this level in this general area. Did not do that. Rather, this level of established support that you'd want to see at least a matching, but rather high or low on, broke below it. It has been significant resistance since then. And that's the key when you break levels. Breaking support means previous levels of such oftentimes become resistance. And when you break resistance, oftentimes those levels become support later after the fact. But since it was established pretty much in here and then piercing below in here, another test in it right now as I'm playing it within this hour, 3 consecutive hours down. No, I mean, I'm not trying to guess what we're doing here, but I mean, it does look to me as if within this it's failing on the 4 hour term, that we're at least going to have a deeper pullback into this level more towards like 53, not 53 low, and that's short term and extremely amongst the conservative point. But again, it's been a long time since getting above here. It's one of those rare situations because, as I understand, or as my experience has shown me, that when you have key major levels of resistance and you don't do such, resist it, then what's going to be the case? Then it's a fast move to the next level. Sometimes it's support. That's one of the rare ones. But a slow move to the next level, man, I don't even know if I can remember ever seeing one. Or at least I'm trying to think of some. Maybe in the S&P 500, I'm sure you could easily find some there, but it didn't support this. Yes, it did for 2 days here, but as I've stated before, I consider that liftoff support. And maybe, yeah, we can consider this as a pierce above, and though it's a noticeable one, it's moving higher. It's just been very, very slow. So let's just take a look at just my view of coins and other things on this market. The top gainers, we have XAG, which is silver against the Canadian dollar, up 1.25%, up 1% against the US dollar. Litecoin is overperforming Ethereum by 1%. There's gold against the Canadian dollar, the dollar index. Gold against the US, this is supposed to be 0%, the TUSD, USD. And then you got the S&P 500, the Dow Jones Industrials, the Canadian US dollar index, the gold silver ratio. There really isn't much for cryptos in there. In fact, I don't even see one single one against Bitcoin or against the dollar for that matter. If you go to the losers, Theta down 10%. And then we got TTC, and I haven't got anything. I don't even have an order in for it, but I'm looking at it. Probably might buy it later on. DJB against the dollar down 8%. Raven Coin down 7 and 3/4. A GRS down 7, Flow down 7, Komodo down 6.5. Now at 17.6. I have to seriously consider buying a little bit more. But no, I bought at 18 yesterday. I gotta wait a bit. DGB 215. I bought a little more of that. Komodo 1769. I already said that, just two exchanges. Neo down 6%. Bought a little bit more of that recently. Doji, I bought some of that recently. Cardano 1265. I'm waiting for that to be free its hostage level on uh, Polo, not PoloDX, but on Cryptopia. Veritcoin, I bought some more of that at 8,000. Litecoin against the dollar down to 70, as it was like 73 earlier. As it must be just recent declines. No, it wasn't 73 earlier. And everything else, like Dash is holding in there okay, which means I'm trading Dash against Theta. But instead of, I mean, I'm waiting for the ratio to move more significantly. I just bought, yesterday I bought both of them, and today I just bought Theta. Litecoin, I'm trying to buy that on Cryptopia. I bought a partial order at the 13 handle, and now I got another one in for 128. As I look at it, I sold it on Poloniex. But if I'm able to withdraw on that Cryptopia site, and I might as well just put my orders there. Namecoin, I missed that one. Happened. See this move? Well, of course, I hope she should be able to. 16,100 change. I was a small hair above 16, so I missed it. I've reduced my order. It's now down to 15,100. And that's what I'll do. I'll either wait for it to go here if my sell order play out again. I did barely miss this. I've checked the order book, and it is a very, very thin book. For I'm looking on the exchange, what we see here is there's only 2.63 Bitcoin supply. That's not much at all. And supply for Namecoin and sell orders 660,000. A much of Namecoin, a much larger number in how many in value wise overall, which means, and I haven't looked at it, that the order book has got just so a huge skew towards sell orders. But I mean, I don't have a buy. Actually, I do have a buy order for. A lot of times, I won't have buy orders in because I can just buy it when they go back down. Thus, I can keep them in hardware wallets. I don't have a buy order for Veritcoin. I bought that earlier today at eight number 8,000 Satoshi. But when we look at this, 16,005.16 some Bitcoin. Where do the walls come in? I mean, there's like 0.22. That's not that much. Zero point 0.7 at the 15. And then even below that, where does it start to get big? Now we get to the 1.5 number. So one of the spots you might want to consider is somewhere. It's even tough. That's a hard time to choose. On the deepest end, there's a decent sized order at 6,200 Satoshi. Maybe if you really wanted to go deep into one, you could consider like 6,300. And that's a realistic situation that if it gets sold down towards there and you get hit, then it's just going to come back up somewhere and you can be able to sell all or some of it for very good profit. And in conclusion, let's show Cardano. And as I look at it, and it's frustrating, but there's what else can you do? This is why within wherever you have your money being held, you're it's you're not always in control if you have them there. So your controlled decision is, do you want to uh, risk the fact that it's not going to work out for you? Because normally speaking, if exchanges work, you can buy and sell them what you would expect on a fair market. You can withdraw them, you can deposit them, all very easy. Well, all the Cryptopia stuff happened in here. And then it was this day, February 14th, when the police allowed Cryptopia back in the building. And they were even mentioning, like, okay, so we can get, or they were trying to get this back up, like, March right in here is where they wanted to get it back open. So me myself, I'm patiently waiting for markets to get back up, and of course they don't. So the slow decline, this is where the crimes all happened in here, where coins of the ERC were taken out. And they've worked on it for this length of time, since February the 14th. It's been 2.5 months. And what's interesting with Cryptopia is every time I'm looking for signs of exit scams and different things, and I've been finding so many of them, there's always something that says no, it is not an exit scam on Cryptopia's part. Even on the early stages, I'd be looking at things like, well, after, like, they were very, very silent for 10, 15 days back into these early parts, that there would be tweets from the New Zealand Crimes Unit saying that, or the police department, putting out things that were actually positive for myself and other investors and holders on the site. But uh, okay, so you'll wait longer. And then as things were just keeping on going, going, and going, and going up on this point so long, one of the main ones was, well, obviously one of the things that can be done is just plan it in advance. Let's put out like 50 small events that could take a significant period of time. Make everybody think that we things are working in a good progression, and that's what I was noticing. One point at a level, okay, we're doing this, we're allowing, as far as the 2FA, we're fixing this part. We're going to be opening up some of the markets, but hey, you can't withdraw coins. Okay, well, and then all of a sudden, Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Doji withdrawals were available. That's not part of one of the steps that I think they would do if it was that of an exit scam. Now, technically, what I should be doing is checking the price on the exchange, because if I can sell this at a price I can buy it for cheaper, that's a one way of getting it off of the exchange. And that's almost going to be impossible. I just checked; it's 11.90 right now. So I mean, if this that's what I would sell it for on Cryptopia, and that's when you're holding these coins. That do you really what I mean? Because there's no wallets available, the prices are going to be so much cheaper than what the actual real price is. For example, on Qtum, I check my coins twice a day on Cryptopia, at least on the business day week side, to see which wallets have went from status of offline to maintenance, because every so often 4, 5, 6 coins on every random given day will go from that status, and as offline there's nothing you can do with it but just see your balance and remove orders. You cannot add orders, thus the supply gets diminished even further when people are trying to get coins off the site. And then when the status goes from maintenance or to maintenance from offline, that means you can trade the markets, buy and sell it, but and you can add orders in as you wish, but you can't withdraw the coins. So I mean, when I seen a couple days ago, I think it might have been day and a half, I don't know which day it would have been, that Qtum was back on, and I'm getting like 550 handle here. And now there's even a small available at the 500 number. Not much. And what's going to happen soon enough, the price action just going to keep going lower and lower as well, people like myself will sell it off. There's coins like Ethereum Classic that I'm waiting on, and this is just an interesting move to say the least. Again, the buy low, sell high strategy. I don't give a crap about the news. I just know that when markets go up in here, and I couldn't do it because my coins were costage on it, but you sell. And then, how important do I talk about holding the 18 and where it came from? So originally, during this cycle, you can't. There's no way of saying just by that move alone that this was going to happen. But then we have a lot of support in here. 2 periods, four or so, and then when it breaks it, it's oftentimes fast. Next level of key possible support was not. And then this level in here, well, it's been resistance. It really hasn't been And I mean, just fast move going lower. That's just, and I didn't even know what happened. I just, wow, that's how fast these moves are. So obviously, within the, as the market moves, sell order fill, buy order hit, and bear markets within the strategy like this. If, for example, I was able to say I sold in here, and let's just assume it was because I last bought back. Well, let's just say I lost back in here. We'll say I missed this sell order, and because I missed it, I moved it below here, which would have meant I would have sold it here. Well, now in a bear market. I'm not gonna. In a bull market, I want to buy at a higher low. In a market that's neutral or I'm unsure, I want to buy at a matching low. In a bear market, I want to buy somewhere in a lower low area. Now I'm going to take a look at library credits for the first time in a long time. I know it's having a big day and it's giving back a lot of its gains. That's all I know about it. Uh, Poloniex to Bittrex, it doesn't matter. There we have it. And I guess it did matter because actually I want to see if Poloniex shared the same movements. It probably should have based on the quick, what I seen earlier. Game credit. Is this game credits? Library credits. So Poloniex did have that same move. Pretty close. But here we have a spot where, and let's just, so this goes up to 740. What did this one go up to? Not much higher, a little higher, 823. But it means when you're playing this type of game, everything sold in here could have easily been bought here, and then a seller can be filled, and then you can just buy it back right now. This is probably in a very vicious down cycle given its price number that I see at 628. Something that was at 32,000 now at 628. Even this lower levels from 2017. We got 1400, 900. I mean, these things are at all-time levels low. We'll see how this moves forward. A lot of these coins going on. There's just so many of them. It wouldn't be a surprise if at some point, with cryptos even doing well and holding in there overall, like Bitcoin and a lot of the other major good, or all the other good ones as well, that a bunch are just going to fall to the wayside. And this one might be one of them. But there are a lot of coins when you talk about like 2,000. I know some of them can be like, okay, specific to a certain company idea that's unique and different things. So I don't want to put too much in upon it, but definitely volatile markets to say the least. And we're in low volatile times overall because the general part of this market is seeing like 7, 8, 9, 6% moves against Bitcoin. Nothing. I've seen bigger, like 20, 30, 40% moves, and even worse to the downside, like 4x up, which is 75% down. Those days can happen as well. Although 75% up is more common. Or excuse me, 4x up is more common than 75% down, I would think. Because markets go up faster than they go down. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye bye.